on like it not having like proper KYC, um, and like what's your thoughts around that now that this is kind of just cleared the air a little bit, or potentially because it hasn't been like brought in yet?
Yeah, so we had the White House crypto summit the other day, and basically President Trump says the US is considering buying sizable amounts of Bitcoin and other crypto. So that was a massive, massive statement, and that was one of the reasons why we saw these pumps across the board. Then we also had Trump calls on Congress to pass the Crypto Clarity Act. That's good news. We want to see the Crypto Clarity Act get passed because clarity in the markets is good for bringing the institutions in, whether they know if crypto is a security or a commodity. That's great. So yeah, if we can see that get passed, that would be big. Trump says the US is ensuring that it remains undisputed leader in Bitcoin and crypto. Obviously good. And then, yeah, what you're talking about here, Hyperliquid, it pumps 15% to $70. As Trump says, CFTC is working on bringing it to the US. Yeah, I think this is huge news because that was one of my bear cases with Hyperliquid was just like, if they can get into the US. I thought that, yeah, like the whole regulatory standpoint could have been a bearish case for Hyperliquid. So seeing this is I feel like it was kind of the only real bear case, at least the only real good bear case for Hyperliquid that I saw. So yeah, I think that's massive for Hype. As for what they're going to do with that, I know there's lots of conspiracies around what that actually means and why they're doing it. Um, I don't really know, but I think that yeah, like I said, that was the only real good bear case I saw, and it seems to have gone away now. So Hype looks super super strong. It's always been one of the strongest coins. It's a great company. Jeff's great. He's got a great team. So yeah, I'm bullish on Hype, and this is just another reason to be even more bullish.
Yeah, I mean, even for like crypto as a whole, like even that announcement alone, like something like Hyperliquid, which most people wouldn't really like know what is,
Mm,
the fact that it's so like niche down that we've got like the president, the SEC trying to get these projects into the US,
hmm
like it's quite bullish for the industry as a whole of the direction they're taking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, then we got Trump says that he's ended the war on crypto once and for all, which is like that's the most Trump thing you could say.
Yeah, the big bold statement.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good outcome from the White House summit. Like that's cool to see, and yeah, one of the big reasons why we pumped. And then the other kind of big reason why we pumped was the buyback. So this is less interesting kind of stuff, but yeah, basically the US debt is now at $40 trillion, and Scott Bessent said that he can basically print his way out in a way.
Yeah, like he mentioned there's like unlimited supply now. They
Yeah,
have
so
no limits.
they doubled their buyback to 4 billion, and he said we can go even bigger. This is a big read, so I'm not gonna read it all out on the show. But if you want to go look at Stern and Drew, he's put a really good like bit about everything that's happened with Scott Bessent. So I'd go read that on X. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Um, it's yeah. What are your thoughts on the macro standpoint right now?
Yeah, I think as soon as BTC sniff this out that liquidity's allowed to come back in, I think this is massive and like definitely was a reason why like BTC did a fat candle and like Ethereum stuff like these majors because them allowing money printing like we haven't seen this for a little bit of time now, so this coming back in is just huge, 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 huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Because yeah, the 30-year hit 5.33%. So it's basically it's yield curve control. So it's a risk on signal for markets. It's not
yeah,
necessarily money printing, but um, it's a big buyer coming into the bonds to help save the yield curve. So yeah, it's good. Kind of on the same uh, in the same kind of category as that. We saw. I'm going to pull this up here. We saw the US interest payments are now 3.33% of GDP, the highest level in history, and Flood says Bitcoin. So, yeah, this is super interesting. Um, Basically, what this means is on every dollar America earns, 3.3 cents goes straight to interest. So that's massive. Um, and 4 years ago, that was like 1%. So this has gone up a lot. And this is just the interest. So that's now bigger than the defense budget. That's so much interest. And since the US run at a deficit because they're the reserve currency of the world, it means they make no money. So they're not earning anything and they're paying all of this back in debt. And there's kind of four ways out of this, which is why Jack Mallers, he's always had the same kind of point with why he thinks Bitcoin is so good. And the ways out of this is they cut spending, which won't happen because politically, and just they will never do that. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people bet on Bitcoin so big, because they believe that they will just never stop spending the money. They raise taxes enough, which won't happen because from a political standpoint, that would just be silly. You would never get the Republicans or the Democrats would never get voted back in, or you default on the debt, which would never happen for obvious reasons, or you inflate it away and hold rates below inflation, which is the most likely outcome, and in the past, which is what has always happened. So that's kind of what a lot of people are betting on. And if you inflate it away, it means that dollars are worth less, which means the debt shrinks because the dollars are worth less. But it also means that stuff that has real value, like gold and Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, because there's only 21 million Bitcoin, is just worth so much more. So more dollars, same amount of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a much higher price. So that's kind of always been a lot of people's thesis. And yeah, basically that they're just going to print so much money and they're going to inflate away the debt, that
Yeah.
Bitcoin will be. Yeah, so I think that's really interesting.
We can start to like see that now from just Scott Bessent coming on saying they're going to do what they're going to do. And I also heard that the like Trump announced they're looking to buy some BTC stuff like that. So that was a part of the summit that just happened. So like all these big, we haven't had like good news like that back to back to back. Like I can't even remember the last time. So it's good to see like BTC and crypto as a whole reacting positively off that, which is what you need in a bull. Positive news, reacting well, and negative news not reacting.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, complete flip. So yeah, that's good to see. And everything's picking back up. Like we saw on chain start to heat up even before this happened, and it's still looking good. Like that's kind of our thesis with Pump Fund. But also you see Solana all-time high in transactions on chain is gone completely up and to the right. So yeah, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts with like the meme coin market and on chain?
I think it's still sticking around. I mean,